So it's the blue car of Oak Richardson, the green car of Michael Pearce on the front row, 2 black cars on the second row for Bradley Gaunt and for Roger Chesno. The race gets underway then. Best of the starts, thinks from Pearce from the outside of the front row in the bright green car, and he's leading. There's an oil flag board being shown to the drivers there, so possibly a little bit of fluid down somewhere around here, so that can make the first corner quite interesting. Simon Walker-Hansel's come through to second place from row 3 of the grid in the Eco Trailers car, number 4. Yeah, quite a bit of dust being kicked up there, but I think everyone's made it round okay. And off they've gone up to the Wilson hairpin for the first time of asking. So it was Pearce that had the advantage when they left our sights. There's the packed midfield. I can see Amy Barker's yellow car in the middle of the field there. But who is it that's got the lead at the moment? It is still Michael Pearce. It looks like Simon Walker-Hansel second and Oak Richardson in third place as they turn their way out of Palmer and down towards Agostini for the first time.
Very difficult start for our championship leader from pole position, losing 2 places off the line. Certainly not an ideal start to this race, but Oak Richardson, we know he has got an awful lot of tricks up his sleeves, but has not won a race since the opening meeting of the season. That was all the way back at Brands Hatch. Started off the campaign with 2 victories, and then, well, the arrival of Ben Short rather curtailed anyone else's chances, really, didn't it? And very nearly losing third position there in the middle of the Hamilton and Oggies complex to Ian Tomlinson. It's 4 very much for the lead as we make our way down the Bentley Straight for the first time. Michael Pearce, that green mean machine, leading the pack into Brundle and Nelson. Simon Walker-Hansel, he's been a demon off the line this year. So Oak Richardson very nearly into the back, or there may have just been a kiss between the yellow star on the nose of his car to the rear bumper of Walker-Hansel that has a little bit of a twitch through the bomb hole and getting on the curbing. Not anything to worry about too terribly much, but certainly that will have caught his attention.
Yeah, it certainly will have done. So out of Murray's they come for the first time. It's in all likelihood going to be another 7-lap race here, but here comes Simon Walker-Hansel pulling alongside Michael Pearce as they run along centre straight for the first time. Oak Richardson, though, is pulling Pearce, or pushing, I should say, Pearce along, and that allows Pearce to keep the lead. Richardson to get up to second, and Walker-Hansel, I thought was going to get the lead, dropped down to third place. It's Ian Tomlinson, who started 7th. He's up to 4th now. And then in 5th, it's Roger Chesno, isn't it? So he's lost a position from the start. Bradley Gaunt's dropped back down from 3rd to 10th on the opening lap as well. Tomlinson making up another place here. He's up the inside of the championship leader, Richardson now, and up to P3. Great first lap and a bit for him.
Richardson lighting up those rear tyres on the exit of the Wilson hairpin, so it was a dive back on the inside from Simon Walker-Hansel for second, and then Richardson getting pushed out wide as Tomlinson tried to find his way through as well. So it was sort of 1 up, 2 down for Oak Richardson. He's now in 4th position, and I must say the elbows are already starting to come out, and I've been really looking forward to this one all day. The second race at Silverstone we had back in May, probably one of the greatest motor races I've ever seen in my life. Roger Chesneo entering this fight as well. It's 5 for the lead, 11 minutes to go, but still Michael Pearce leading the way and looking quite comfortable out in front at the moment.
Yeah, he is. He's looking pretty okay out there, isn't he? But there's still a long way to go in that race. He's 4th on after drop scores coming into this round of the championship, but I think he's 2nd on gross scores before the drops are taken into account is Pearce, but he's yet to have a victory this season. Yet to have a victory at all, as far as I can remember, in 5 Club. I remember having his first podium towards the end of last year. He's still got the lead, but only just here from Walker-Hansel. Tomlinson 3rd, Richardson 4th, and Chesno with them in 5th, and Scott Leach now trying to attach himself to the back of this group as well. In 6th, as up the inside at the bomb hole goes Oak Richardson's take 3rd place away, and as they're battling, they've let the top 2 get away a bit here, I think. Michael Pearce and Oak Richardson now with what's looking like a comfortable advantage over the next few cars.
Yeah, that's astonishing how just a couple of corners side by side has really let the top 2 get away, and they've brought more cars into their fight as well. Sam Gormer and Scott Leach on their tail as well. Meanwhile, Michael Pearce and Simon Walker-Hansel starting to pull away. I can't wait to see what the gap is. It's not much between the top two. And then back to Oak Richardson, it's about a second, but nothing separating Walker-Hansel and Pearce as they turn through Ritchie's. We are almost guaranteed a new race winner for the season, because the only race winner on the grid we have is Oak Richardson, I believe. Walker-Hansel doing the move he made on Oak Richardson a lap ago, this time for the lead on Michael Pearce on the inside into the Wilson hairpin. Runs out slightly wide, but we have a new race leader as Ian Tomlinson loses out to Roger Chesneo on the exit of the Wilson hairpin there as well. And Scott Leach trying to find his way through. He's got the big tongue poking out the front of his livery. I'm sure he's licking his lips inside the cockpit as well.
Well, he should be, because he just did the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap, a 2:24.945. Only driver so far to break the 2:25 marker, and he's up the inside of Tomlinson here, who was third briefly. He's heading back down now to, I think that's 6th position. Dust kicked up just behind by one of the drivers on the exit. But you're right, new lead, of course. Simon Walker-Hansel now ahead. Very experienced driver, Simon, in all kinds of different cars, including Formula BMW back in the day. But variety of saloons and sports cars and single-seaters he's raced in his career.
And I think these cars have got about as much downforce as a Formula BMW car as well.
Yeah, probably.
They were very much for show, those wings, weren't they?
Yes, they certainly were. Down towards us they come. There's the lip licking. I got that wrong, didn't I? Car of Scott Leach appearing out of somebody's toe to try and make up some ground. It was Roger Chesnow's toe, wasn't it, that he was emerging from, and he's ahead of him now and up into 4th position. So it's Walker-Hansel leading, Pearce second, Richardson third. Now Scott Leach, the man from Nuneaton, in 4th place, Roger Chesnow 5th, and then it's who is it 6th? Trying to work that out. Might be Samuel Gormer. We'll pick it up in a minute. Who it is there?
Just in front of Ian Tomlinson. I think you're right. Should be Samuel Gormer. That's Walker-Hansel who leads them out of Murray's. And you see, look how much they've closed up again already. Like we were talking a lap ago. Oh, there's a second between the top two and the rest of the field. Well, it's nothing again now. Oak Richardson straight onto the back and actually ahead at the timing line over Michael Pearce, but settling back in behind what is now effectively his nearest title rival with the departure of Jordan Johnson. Big dive out to the inside at Wilson, but that was covered off very nicely. Oh, no, not quite enough, though, because Pearce has lost that place. It's Richardson through into 2nd place. Scott Leach trying to take advantage of that on the exit of the corner as well. Chops from one side to the other. Tries to get the inside line for Palmer, but he'll have to be licking the heels of Michael Pearce for just a little bit longer. Actually, the more I look at it, the more I think it's picking its own nose, a bit like Stitch, rather than licking its lips. And well, I thought there was going to be a dive at Agostini, but not quite. Still Pearce holding on to 3rd position. Walker-Hansel enjoying everybody else squabbling in his mirrors. Probably not thrilled to see Oak Richardson right behind him, though.
No, absolutely. Richardson is probably the driver that he would fear most here because of the success that he's had. 2 victories so far this season. Oak Richardson. Both of them came in the opening meeting of the season at Brands Hatch. He's not won since April, therefore. One of the victor there was Tom Holland, but since then it's either been Ben Shaw or Jordan Johnson that have taken the victories, neither of whom are racing. So it's down to either a new winner in the form of someone like Simon Walker-Hansel or an existing one, but for the first time in 4 months or something like that, you know, Richardson. So Scott Leach again, he's done another fastest lap on the last lap of 2:23, and he's taken time out of Pearce again on this lap. He's on a charge. Don't bet against Scott Leach being on the podium here before the end of this race. He's hugely experienced in MX-5. He's been racing them pretty much since MX-5 racing, Mark 1 racing became a thing. And so he's done pretty as many laps as anybody in these cars over the years. So lots of experience he brings to it. What have we got? 4 laps about to be completed, so 3 laps more than likely to go in this race. It's number 4, Simon Walker-Hansel, that is leading. Second place is number 17, Oak Richardson. Third place is number 70, Michael Pearce. And fourth place is Scott Leach, number 13. That time through, Leach is a little bit slower than he has been before, but still takes time out of Pearce as it happens. But it's Chesno that's gaining on him in fifth place. Sam Gorman 128 car is in sixth, and then the other car you can see on that line of cars there is number 9, Ian Tomlinson, in seventh.
So less than 5 minutes to go now. And Richardson looking at the back of, Scott Leach looking at the back of Michael Pearce for what's currently the last spot on the podium. So it's looking much closer for third position than it is for anything else at the front of the field. A look to the inside from Leach, but not quite dandier enough on the brakes to get that done into Agostini. I'll say Pearce has been quite impressive in that arena so far today, especially into those two hairpins, Agostini and Wilson, earlier in the lap. Chesno just waiting in the wings, see if anything falls his way.
4 minutes left, 2 laps to go at the end of this. Pearce there was kicking up dirt, and that's given the opportunity for Scott Leach to sneak up the inside of him and take the place away. Up into the podium paying positions goes Scott Leach, therefore Roger Chesno trying to take advantage as well as Pearce tries to regain his momentum, but I don't think he's quite able to do it. Is he going to get ahead by the time they get to the end of the Bentley Straight? I think he is, Chesno just about squeezing through on the inside there of Michael Pearce. So Pearce, who led at the beginning of the race, is back down to fifth spot now with 1 more lap to go. 2 more laps to go, I think, at the end of this one, so I should say. Round Coram then, they go. Walker Hansel a bit more secure, I think, than he looks a lap ago, if anything, over Richardson. A good battle going on here. This is for 8th place backwards, just going through a shot now, so I think that's Jack Lawrence and Bradley Gaunt and Scott Lawrence and Zolly Shabai, amongst others, involved in that battle outside the main group of cars, the top 7. And Oak Richardson's just in the best lap of the race at 2:23.751, so the gap has come down on that lap by half a second to Walker Hansel and Richardson. So I just think it looked more comfortable, and then turned out not to be the case after all.
But he must have made up like half a second in just like the last couple of corners,
exactly.
Coram and Murray's, because Walker Hansel was looking very comfortable. So it is 2 laps to go then. Richardson with the pace as it stands. We don't think Walker Hansel's won a race in this championship yet? Certainly not this season.
So not this season, certainly. I don't think he has previously.
Okay, so this could be a big moment for Simon Walker Hansel. He's about to be tested to the very limit here. It's Scott Leach we saw on there in third position, but closing up for the lead. 2 minutes to go now. Of course, we were talking about it earlier. Richardson doesn't really need to do anything too crazy in terms of his championship. He's ahead of his nearest championship rival, Michael Pearce. Second place would still be a very handy-dandy amount of points, but hasn't won since April. How much is that going to be playing on his mind? How much does he want to just bag that first victory in quite a few weeks? Just get that monkey off his back and then focus on winning the championship. And of course, he's got a decent advantage at the moment. Anything can happen in the final lap and a half of this race, and Walker Hansel breaking the toe a little bit, weaving from one side to the other. I know that's not looked upon too favourably by the clerk of the course, but it is technically legal to do so long as no one's alongside you. So,
I mean, again, let's see if Richard can have such a stellar final, quarter a lap really, as he did on the previous lap, because if he can, he'll be right with Simon Walker Hansel as they start the final tour of Snetterton. About to complete lap number 6 then. Don't write off Scott Leach either, because I think he's gaining on these two as well. Looking at the gap, that appeared to be coming down. So out of Murray as they come. Good run there again by the looks of it for Oak Richardson. So is he going to be on terms possibly by the time they come up to the timing line to start the last lap? No, he's not quite, I don't think.
Ben Smiles getting a black and white flag. He's in 10th position at the moment. Presumably that is for track limits, but we start the final lap of the race in the first race of the weekend for the 5 Club Racing MX-5 Cup, and it is closer, 0.3 of a second separating Simon Walker-Hansel, going for his first victory against Oak Richardson, the championship leader. Very much nose to tail as they come out of Wilson, only about a quarter of a car length in it as they came out of there. The gap grows to about a car length as the concertina effect comes into play. Richardson follows Walker-Hansel through Palmer, but let's see if there's any opportunities into Agostini. Is he going to save something for the Bentley Straight? Potentially. We know that Richardson's been very good at the end of the lap over these last couple of tours. So 2 slightly different lines on the way into Agostini, and still very close on the exit of the corner. Has Richardson got enough just to get ahead?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a chance that he's going to do that by the time they come around to the end of the lap. There's about half of the lap left to go here. Still the top 6 cars all within 3.7 seconds of one another. It's Tomlinson that's dropped out of the top 6 now, because Samuel Gormer is there in 6th place in the 128 car. So Tomlinson had a good first lap or so of the race, but I wonder if he just took a lot out of his tyres in the early stages perhaps, and hasn't quite been able to maintain that pace since then. Down the Bentley Straight they come then, and it is still Simon Walker-Hansel leading. And crucially, as they get to the end of Bentley Straight, which are not close enough to do anything at that point of the circuit. How close to is Scott Leach? Not that close. So I think it's going to be one of these 2 that wins. Probably Simon Walker-Hansel, but we know that Richardson is capable of being very quick in the final part of the lap here. Is he going to be close enough going into that final part of the lap to capitalise on that particular strength that he has, though? Through quorum for the final time in this race. The clock's counted down to 0. Up to Murray's they go, and out of it now. Oh, both of them going quite deep onto the grass there, and I think that's probably not helped out Richardson there. He's more into the clutches now of Scott Leach, so it's going to be Simon Walker-Hansel that comes through to take the checkered flag. His maiden win in the 5 Club Racing MX-5 Cup. 2nd place goes to Oak, which is eventually a second and a half between them, and Scott Leach 3rd. Roger Chesno getting the fastest lap of the race on the final lap is 4th. Michael Pearce 5th, and Samuel Gormer in 6th place. Tomlinson in 7th. Then a gap back to Jack Lawrence in the 97 car. There he is, who wins the next battle. He's 8th. 9th, Solly Shabai. Ben Smart, who's often been further up the grid, rounds out the top 10, Chris.
Great stuff. Walker-Hansel was so quick out of Williams. I think that's what saved him, really, getting the advantage down the Bentley Straight. But 2 seconds covering the top 4 in the end. Great stuff. And it was that 4th place car, Roger Chesno, that managed to bag the fastest lap of the race at 2:23.644. It's an extra point in there, of course, as well. But a great drive there from Simon Walker-Hansel to bag his first victory in the championship.
Yeah, it certainly was. So number 4, Simon Walker-Hansel, the winner at the end of 7 laps, beating Oak Richardson, number 17, by 1.5 seconds. 3rd place went to number 13, Scott Leach. 4th place, number 105, Roger Chesno, also getting the fastest lap. 5th to number 17, Michael Pearce. 6th was 128, Samuel Gormer. 7th, number 9, Ian Tomlinson. Then a 10-second gap back to 8th place, number 97, Jack Lawrence. 9th was his mate, 168, Solly Shabai. Landing out the top 10 was number 46, Ben Smiles. Bradley Gaunt, who qualified 3rd. Finished 11th in car 43. Then Scott Lawrence, Mary Barnard and Matthew Short 14th. And then next up in 15th position was Andrew Robinson, Stephen Robinson 16th, Sam Moody 17th, Paul Barnard, Amy Worthington and Martin Vernon rounding out the top 20 at the end of that 5 Club race. And Nick Rice, you can see in 27th, was a lap down, as was Neil Burrows in 28th position. So that is the opening race of 3 this weekend for the 5 Club Racing MX-5 Cup, sponsored by Massimo Tyres. Look forward to their 2 remaining races tomorrow. And in fact, those 2, I just mentioned being lap down. The words lap down, they've just crossed the line now, somewhat belatedly. Yeah, 2 more races for them tomorrow. 2 more races to come this afternoon as well. The Race Part 750 Formula Championship is next, and then it's going to be the Armed Forces Race Challenge 2 conclude proceedings for today here at Snetterton. Waiting for the drivers to all be gathered down there. We've got those 3 cars I can see, I think, just about lined up in Parc Fermé now, of Walker Hansel, Richardson and Scott Leach. So we're heading down now to hear from Kim and Rock.
Thank you very much. Yes, now your first win in Mazdas. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's good. Been waiting a while for it. It's 3rd meeting now, but enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
And obviously you had Oak there towards the end there, and he was proper pushing you along the entire way. You had a bit of a gap at one point, but you had to fight for it.
Yeah, I was really struggling in the infield, the 2 really tight corners. I'm still learning. So in qualifying, we put a diff in, which we thought was the one we should have, but we think it's worn out. So I really struggled, but I was pleasantly surprised to be 6th. I thought it was going to be about 15th. So I knew we had the pace if we put the old diff back in, but this isn't as good in tight bends, so it seems. So in all the quick stuff, we were fast. And it was just, I thought I could make a gap, but when these are slipstreams that good that you just can't get away. But yeah, I think another couple of laps, Oak would have been fighting with me again.
And obviously you go again tomorrow. Are you going to make any changes overnight?
I don't know, probably not any huge changes. I need to try and improve the infield. Yeah. But the car was handling well, it was reliable. I just want to say thank you to Paul and Jamie and all the guys, Paul Barnard Racing, because he has changed that diff twice for me, and all sorts of other jobs that I couldn't do on my own.
No, excellent. Well, congratulations on the first win, and hopefully not the last for a while.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, let's speak with second place, Oak Richardson. Oak, you had a bit of a, well, started well, bit of an iffy mid-race, and then quite a good end towards the end of the race.
I had a terrible start. Yeah, I was like 4th or 5th by the first corner, so I think it was probably slightly different order to that. But yeah, I went backwards, didn't I? So what can I say? Yeah. It's all good. I mean, happy with second-ish, but when you go backwards, you're never as happy as you could be. Yeah.
Especially with obviously fighting for the championship. You're right up there at the moment. Is that playing on your mind as you're driving along?
Not really. Simon's not in the championship fight. Scott's not in the championship fight. I think the next person that is finished 5th or 6th. So, no, not really. Yeah, just try and get the best result I can, and that's just racking up points. It would be nice if it was a win, but if it's not, it's not.
There's always tomorrow.
Yes, there is.
All right, well, congratulations obviously on P2, and hopefully some silverware tomorrow as well.
Yeah, there'll be some silverware today, but hopefully some slightly bigger ones tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely, well, congratulations. Right, so speak with Scott Leach, just in 3rd place, if we just go over here. Now, Scott, you had a very busy race there.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, I started 5th, had a bad start, must have dropped about 3 or 4 places, and then just chipped at them and worked my way up to 3rd. It was quite good at the beginning because they were battling, and it allowed me to catch the pack up. So yeah, I was very happy with 3rd.
And obviously, it's not just a case of if you see a gap, you've always got to go for it. You've got to time these moves. So how difficult was it to pick the moments to make those moves?
I think it's just catching the one up in front, seeing where he's a little bit wider maybe than what I would be, and just pick your time and then just go for it. So excellent.
Yeah, and obviously, nice way to end the day. Obviously, you go again tomorrow. Do you reckon you get on the podium tomorrow?
Hopefully. I start 3rd again, obviously, in the next race, but it depends. My starts this season have been terrible, so I have it all to work for. But if I can get a good start, yeah, don't see why not.
Awesome. Well, look forward to seeing it, and congratulations on P3.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you very much. All right, so we've got 2 more races still to come, and as you can see just on the grid over there, we have got the 750 formulas. So, Ian, Chris, take it away.